Be it unto me according to your word.
Beautiful song there from Jane Johnson featuring Chris Kilala. The song is titled Send Me, and I love the part where they sing, Lord, I love you. You know, if I'll be known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. And before you even ask, my answer will be yes, because I love you. Oh, how I love you. Wow, beautiful song there. Bring us the time at 9:15. You're listening to Breath of Heaven on Hope FM. Listen and Leave. It is the third and final hour of the program. In this hour, we spend some time praying together, as well as just reading the Word of God and allowing this Word of God to find its rightful place in our heart. Thank you, Martha, for joining us. I see you right there, Solomon Wanyonyi, as well as Charles Luanga Ogato. I also seen Winfred Matthew. Yes, you shared a testimony. The Lord did something for you. Purity Mikali, yes, receiving us loud and clear there on Hope FM Live. That's on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Yes, you can catch us there live as we share tonight's reflections. And as I alluded to earlier on, it's all about those times, those moments when we feel inadequate, those moments when we feel ill equipped for that role, for that task, for that responsibility, for that assignment that you know very well it is God who has given you that particular assignment, or whatever the situation may be. And tonight, as we look into this whole issue, this morning I was reading the book of Exodus chapter 4, the whole of it, and a very interesting conversation between God and Moses. And in the previous hour, I alluded to the fact that, yes, Moses is here being given an assignment. Go, I have heard what the children of Israel are going through. I want you to go and, save them from the misery that they are going through. And it goes on, and Moses has excuses. He says he's a stammerer. He goes on to say, God help me. People may ask me questions. Who is this God? And all that. But God had an answer for each and every question that he asked. If you read the book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 17, you will get acquainted with this particular conversation, this discourse between God and his servant Moses. Now, what are we learning from the story of Moses and God and this particular instance, especially this context? And when Moses was called by God from his 40 years in the desert to lead the people of Egypt, the people of God out of Egypt, God first changed his paradigm about his shepherd's staff. Remember the staff that he had? God told him to put it down, it turned to be a snake and all that, which represented actually his work as a shepherd. God told him he was going to perform miracles through the same staff. And a shepherd, it was being considered a very, very lowly profession by the Egyptians. And Moses had a time of breaking in the desert, which separated him from all that he learned in Egypt. You remember, he was brought up in Pharaoh's palace. Yes, the moment when he was very, very young, when he was rescued, and Pharaoh's daughter took the child and gave back to the mother unknowingly. And Moses was a very interesting kind of a person, because he grew up in the palace, but ultimately there is an assignment that God had for him. And of course, God will often break our stuff or our vocation in order to reshape and recommission us. And the purpose of the breaking is not to destroy us, but to bring us to a place of willingness to lay down our vocation so that God can use them for his purpose. Whatever it is that he has called you to do, he will equip you. He will equip you. And this particular breaking that we're talking about here prepares our heart for the new calling, the new assignment, the new task, the new role. And God required Moses to lay down his staff. Listen keenly, to lay down his staff in order for him to see it as something that had power. He had not viewed his work life as a shepherd as having any power. And God was actually instructing Moses to lay down that which represented his life and calling so that he could transform it and raise it up for his purpose. Once Moses laid his staff down and then took it back up, a significant change took place. It was no longer his shepherd staff. There was something special about that staff now. It was the staff of God, because through that staff, now God did a lot of things through Moses. And you remember the 10 plagues, how Moses used the staff. And when they were going to the Red Sea, they were to cross to the other side of the Red Sea. He used the staff. Remember that incident in the desert? Yeah, he was told to speak to the rock, but he did what? He knocked. He knocked the rock using the staff, which was not intended in the first place, and he was angry and all that. But long and short, that staff turned from a shepherd's staff, Moses' staff, to God's staff, and God's staff now has power. After Moses' staff became God's staff, it was used as an instrument of deliverance and transformation of the people of God. It delivered people out of the slavery of Egypt through one of the most dramatic miracles of all time. And I've talked about it, the parting of the Red Sea. And Moses' staff transformed the people from slavery to freedom and was used to demonstrate his God-given authority. Are you willing to lay down every other thing and say, God, I'm ready to be used of you? Whatever it is that I saw was for my benefit, I laid down. I just want you, Lord, to use me for your glory. Whatever assignment it is that you know very well, this is not kitu ambayo wewe umejisukumia, it's not your own thing. No, this is what God has called you to do. For sure, he will give you the strength. He will give you the provision that you need. He will give you the wisdom that you need. He'll give you the ability to perform that which you ought to do. So have this confidence in your heart. If it is God who called you, he will give you the strength. Just lay it down, everything to him. Surrender your all to him and ask him to guide you. Do not have excuses like Moses. No, just say, God, here I am. Use me. Send me. I'm ready to be used of you.